Welcome back for another episode of Super Fun Game Review Podcast Go. Find us on Facebook.com/SuperFunPodcast, Twitter.com/SuperFunPodcast, Patreon.com/SuperFunPodcast, Instagram @SuperFunPodcastGo. Thanks and enjoy the show.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Super Fun Game Review Podcast Go! Tonight, our episode will be Super Mario 64. I'm your host tonight. My name's Ralph. Next to me, I have Clark.
Yeah!
Okay, and then we have Harry.
Wah!
And finally, Steve. Woohoo! Wonderful, gentlemen. Absolutely wonderful. Thank you very much. All right, guys, let's go into our initial impressions. What do you think? I'll tell you what I think. Yeah! Wahoo! This is one of my favorite games ever, and I will be doing that a lot. Sorry in advance.
I couldn't tell at all.
You couldn't tell?
No,
Okay.
I couldn't tell at all.
Do I sound a little hype? I'm excited to review this game.
Maybe just a little bit.
I really am. I mean, let's get into it. Come on, go. Initial impressions.
I never actually owned Nintendo 64 as a kid.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I know. Your heart just broke. But I was actually really excited to go over to my friend's house and be able to play this, and then it was great. There you go. There you go. That's an initial impression.
All right. So when I got the 64, this was one of the first games I got. I remember this was the most excited Christmas in the history of Harry Bowles.
Were you the N64 kid?
Yeah. Were you like the N64 kid?
No, but
I'm trying to picture you with hair, and I just...
No,
Was that
ask
you?
my mom. I bitched about getting this system for like 3 months before Christmas. Like every single day. I was like, oh man, I can't wait to play this. Oh man, it's going to be so much fun. I'm going to have all my friends over and play it. And it was just like nonstop relentless towards my mom. So she did pick this game up. It was one of the original titles that I had. Yeah, no, I got to say, I really had fond memories, but I think it was a mistake coming back to it.
A mistake?
Oh, no.
That's with an M.
I should have
Mistake.
left those great nostalgic memories in the past where they belong.
Okay, that's enough out of you. Clark, go.
I'm actually gonna. I kind of have like a similar story for Steve and Harry.
Motherfucker.
I never had a Nintendo 64, so this is actually. I mean, I've played this game at friends' house and things like that. This is my first time actually playing through to try to beat it. And I don't know, maybe it's because I've played other Mario games since then that have come further in the 3D aspect or something like that. I don't get the hype and the nostalgia for it. Personally. I mean, like
Ralph just died. He's
sorry.
dead.
I'm sorry, Ralph, but it's just my initial
I'm Mario, and I'm drowning, and my body just like goes limp. That's me right now, Clark.
We'll get into that discussion.
Yeah,
Huh?
we can
Okay.
talk about that later.
We'll get
You
there.
mean Ralph going limp?
Oh,
Shit.
I'm too young to go limp, thank you.
Ooh.
All right, so my initial impressions, just to get it right out there, guys, I got this game on my sister's birthday in 1997. I'll never forget that. It was her birthday, and I got an N64 and Mario at the Pottstown Walmart, actually. And I played this game religiously, loved it. I think, and don't quote me on this, I think it's the first video game I ever actually beat and saw the credits roll. And I know that might sound crazy, but I did get it in 97, so I was only about 10 years old. And N64, Genesis, Super Nintendo games, I never really saw the credits on those. I would play them for a while, and then do other things. But this one, it was like, no, I'm going to beat it until I see the credits.
You said 97?
Yeah.
What year were you born?
85?
So you were 12.
Yeah, you were 12.
Well, my birthday's
10.
in December. I might have been...
11.
You know what? You're right. I was 11. Sorry.
Okay.
You're right. 11. But no, I mean, I have nothing but fond memories of this game. And even going back to it, we'll get into it, but all love right here. All love. Yeah! All right, so let's get right into game development.
Game development.
So this was a launch title for the Nintendo 64. Came out, I believe, it was 1996 in Japan, and it was shortly after in the United States.
I have June 23rd.
June 23rd.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry. June 23rd for Japan, and then September for North America.
In
United
96,
States.
correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Europe got it March 1st, 97. Man, oof.
Now, when they were designing this game, they originally tried to make it a co-op game. What the original plan was to have Mario start on one side of the castle and Luigi start on the other side of the castle. They couldn't figure out the logistics of it. It just didn't work well, so they did scrap the co-op option with this game.
How would that work as a single player experience then? Would you switch it back and forth?
I don't know. I don't think it got that far in development. That was just their original plan for this game. They really wanted to have Mario as one player and Luigi as the second player.
They were actually originally going to put it on the Super Nintendo.
Using the Super FX chip, I did read that.
Yes. They actually burned a bridge with Argonaut.
This is still the best-selling Nintendo 64 game to today.
11 million?
I didn't get the exact statistics on it, but I mean, it makes sense.
Was it a pack-in? Was there a version of a 64 with the pack-in?
I think so.
I thought the purple ones, the purple see-through 64s, came with this game, which
That's possible.
which pushes into that 11 million.
Yeah.
It's like the best Wii game was Wii
Sports.
Sports. It was considered Wii Sports, even though not many copies were actually sold individually because they all came with the Wii. All right, so Argonaut, I guess, came up with the original pitch for the game, and they were going to have it on the Super Nintendo with the Super FX chip, and they were going to have it actually star Yoshi. That game that they originally pitched went on to become Croc.
Really?
Yes, which I know you were saying that you were playing a few weeks ago.
Legend of the Gobos.
Yep.
Never played Croc.
So actually, they pitched this general idea to them. Nintendo was like, "Nah, we don't want to do that for the Super Nintendo." A few years later, Mario 64 comes out. Argonaut takes a look at it, and they're like, So you kind of have the same general structure as what we pitched, and the same idea, except for without Yoshi. It's just Mario.
Mm-hmm.
So they actually ended up severing ties with Nintendo over it. It was apparently a pretty big fallout.
Someone got mad.
Someone got mad.
That probably didn't help them out. Like, I know that Croc, I think it was a PlayStation title, but
Yeah.
there were a lot of 3D platformers on because the install base with the PlayStation was so much bigger than it was for the N64. I'm just thinking of 3D platformers. I think of the N64. I think of Banjo-Kazooie. I think of Mario 64. I think of Donkey Kong 64 and that type of game. I think of the N64. I could be wrong, but 3D platformers on the PlayStation, were there a lot?
Crash Bandicoot, Gex,
Spyro.
Okay. Originally, they were going to have like a fixed camera for this to make it similar to Mario RPG, even though you don't do much platforming in Mario RPG, but they eventually freed it up. And I happen to know for a fact that Mario 64 did have an impact on the actual controller for the N64, and the C buttons controlling the camera basically came from that. Why are you shaking your head at me? How am I wrong?
No. I agree that's like I know that was like what helped shape the N64.
That wasn't an opinion. I thought it was a fact.
Oh no. Like I know that's like the fact of it. It's just
okay.
How they got that controller.
Well,
man.
that's true. I'm not going to argue with
that controller is a mess.
It was like, okay, we're going to make this controller for this game, and then, you know what? We really need to have a D-pad over on the left-hand side that no one's ever going to use except for special occasions. Let's just throw that in there.
Yeah, they made like a 3-tiered monster.
And it's never been replicated with good reason.
Yeah.
I think Nintendo is the most
obscure.
Well,
when it comes to controllers.
Risky controller.
Well, I saw a little graph before, and it showed like evolution between systems. And if you see, like the PlayStation controller almost stays completely identical through all the different generations of systems.
Right.
But you see the Nintendo controllers just fucking all over the place. They can't come up with a consistent design that works.
Well, really, they could just stick to the GameCube because it was one of the best controllers ever, in my humble opinion.
I do like the GameCube controller,
except for the C-stick not having like more of a. I don't want to say head to it because I know where this will go, but
it was already there.
When I played Time Splitters 2 on the Cube, and I have to admit, if you play it on the Xbox or on the PlayStation 2, having the C-stick on the GameCube controller to aim is finicky.
Yeah, no one wants to play with a little nub. They all just want to play with a big joystick. We got it.
Nub.
Yeah. I get it.
Ooh, great game, by the way.
Time Splitters 2? Absolutely.
Yeah, Time Splitters is
amazing. We need to dive into that shit at some point.
Yeah.
Did you guys come across in development the story of how the boos were sort of based on one of the director's wives, and how Miyamoto had this story where she was like a very, very quiet person until one day she like exploded with all this anger and energy, and somehow that has been tied to Boo, which I don't really get because, Boo is just sort of shy when you look at him and then angry when you turn your back. So I guess it's the same thing, but not quite.
Oh, I think it took about 1.5 years to create.
Yeah, pretty quick.
Yeah, I think they pumped it out pretty quick. Little tidbit.
All right, so let's move right on into...
You mean a fun fact?
Fun fact.
Oh,
hey, I don't think we say that like we used to, though.
We need to. We
Did
need
you
to bring
know
it back.
that this game was made by Shigeru Miyamoto? Fun fact.
Fun fact.
Fun fact.
Yeah! Wah!
Get your fun facts right here.
Let's just move right on into the story.
Story.
All right. So
So,
God damn it.
Story, go.
Story, go.
go.
All right. So this is a story about an oppressed princess.
Here's a story about a princess who was really lonely
please
baking all the
please.
cakes.
Please. Come on. All right. So this is a story about an oppressed princess in a dark world where she is taken from her love interest, forced to live in a castle surrounded by the mushroom henchman of the cruel and tyrannical Mario. Only once she's rescued by her one beloved turtle dino Bowser does she truly feel happy. Mario goes to great lengths to try to trap her once more, forcing her to bake cakes and show him affection. He beats the shit out of Bowser and tortures his friends by ripping their bodies from their shells and riding them around like some sort of trophy. The key to Mario's power relies in his hat, a magical source of deception and flight. That is the story of Super Mario 64.
That is Bizarro 64. I've never played that game. It's a lie.
We're reviewing that game, Ro.
What? Mario's an oppressor? No, come on. How could you say such a thing about Mario? So
I really like that version.
I know, right? It adds a story to that game.
Mario 64 is a Mario game where Peach is kidnapped by Bowser and she's hidden from Mario and he has to collect power stars in order to restore power to the castle and release Peach from the stained glass window. The end.
And Mario really wants Peach's cake.
Oh, he does.
Oh, he wants to just chow down.
Oh,
on
he's
that
gonna
cake.
bury his face in her cake.
So I had some I had some actual like commentary about the story as well. One, there's not really any story to the game. There's a severe lack of story. Peach just kind of materializes out of a star in front of the stained glass window. Also, after all the bullshit that Mario goes through, like all the different worlds and stuff like that, collecting all the stars, she comes out, kisses him on the cheek, and says, "I'm gonna bake you a fucking cake."
Well, wait, she kisses him on his gigantic bulbous nose, if I remember right.
That is
But
Yeah.
Did I say cheek? I meant
yeah,
nose.
it's okay.
I'm sorry.
It's all right. I mean, there's only a couple of pixels on his face anyway, a couple polygons. But what exactly were you expecting, Clark? Did you expect them to go into the castle, Mario peek out from the door and give a wink, and then the door closes?
Yeah, absolutely.
And then it starts
absolutely.
rocking? Like, what do you expect?
I'm sorry. But like, if I go through that length for a princess, where's the blowjob? Like,
Oh my god! Holy god!
Well, it's like that's endgame right there. It's like, oh, cake.
and the
Cool.
worst part about it is because of the way Peach is, she's probably like, "No, Mario, I'm not gonna give you a blowjob now. We'll wait until like later when it's all nice and dark." And then she
And
probably
she gets taken again.
Gets kidnapped again.
No, she probably offloads that responsibility to Toad, and Mario has no idea.
Oh my god! Stop it! That was dark. That is so dark.
Dark but accurate, probably.
So dark he can't tell that it's not Peach giving him a blow job.
Was that hard for you to say, Ralph?
No, I just wanted to make it funny and it didn't work.
All right, so when it comes to the story, I gotta say, I don't think you can take into account all the little dialogues that you have with characters in the different worlds. Because, I mean, like, for example, "Oh, my baby penguin is at the top of the mountain. How can you ever help me?" I don't consider that story, and yet that is some of the most dialogue that you will get in this game. It's just simple little blurbs from NPCs in the different lands.
Well, you
Yeah,
saved
there
my
aren't
little
even-
penguin after the race, and then if you get close enough to the edge, you can drop him off and then collect your star.
Another
Yep.
dark fuck.
Yeah.
No, that's absolutely true. There are only a couple NPCs that even have, which of course, no actual vocalization except for
Bowser laughs.
Bowser laughs. But I'm just thinking like Koopa the Quick. Koopa the Quick doesn't speak. They have like sound effects. And like the little bomb guys like bip 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 bip. They do that. That doesn't qualify. Like there are a couple NPCs that have text boxes. It's not that deep. You don't play a Mario game to play the story. Usually, I mean, in general.
Oh, up until that point, I guess.
So what do you mean, like Super Mario Sunshine?
Sunshine has a storyline. Galaxy has a storyline.
Yeah, but it's all well. Okay, Super Mario Sunshine is different from. It breaks all the traditions in terms of the Mario formula, or most of them. Even Galaxy, like it's still Bowser steals Peach, steals her entire castle, and you have to go defeat Bowser to get her back.
In a giant Mario-shaped planet.
Yes.
I think that's actually Galaxy 2.
Oh well, yeah, but you float around on the Mario Head planet. Yeah.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I haven't played any of those games.
Wow.
Personally.
Honestly,
Really?
like, Galaxy 2 is probably the best Mario game ever
Yeah,
made.
yeah. What Clark said.
Oh, has anybody played Super Mario RPG?
I haven't. Yeah, I haven't beaten it. But I haven't.
I'm at least told from many sources that is probably the best Mario game, let alone RPG.
I've heard it's a very easy RPG.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's like an introductory RPG for
Yeah,
Westerners.
it's still a kid's game.
Got it.
It's still a Mario game. It's still a kid's game.
Steve Story.
I mean, it's pretty straightforward. It's like every other Mario game. Peach gets captured. Oh, I got to go save her. Go through hell. Meet some things along the way.
Things.
Oh, I killed the giant lizard bitch once again. Oh, come back. Oh, here's some cake. Cool. Thanks. That's great. That's pretty much the whole story. To me, there's no like substance to it. This is just run in and, smash turtles out of their shell, ride it around some hot lava, and throw baby penguins off the side of the map.
Sick fuck.
I know.
Now, I will say, because it just seems so fucking ridiculous when they brought it up, the whole cake thing, it just resonates with me every time I think of this fucking game now. Because it just, that first letter that Peach reads, or is the dialogue's written in Peach's voice.
Dear Mario,
Yeah, exactly.
please come to the castle. I've baked a cake for you. Yours truly, Princess Toadstool. Peach.
I'm just saying, it just seems so ridiculous. Like, that's the premise. That's the reason he's going to the castle, is to get some cake.
Yeah.
And not only that, they had to bring it back into, like, she's rescued after all this time. Like it's just like a serious thing if you were in her perspective. And just to bring up the cake thing again at the very end of the game, it just totally takes you out of the moment. I mean, not that, again, you're not really playing this game for the story, but it's still, what dialogue they were going to add in the game should have been worthwhile.
I like
in
to
my
believe that he never actually got the cake in the end. It just still
You see
never
the
happened.
cake. You see the cake.
Yeah.
At the,
Yeah, with a piece of wood on it that says thank you.
yeah, it's weird.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
classy.
It's just like a piece of, like a board. Like, oh, look at this giant wood chip. Thank you.
Is there a deeper metaphor with the cake?
No, there isn't.
You're right.
It's just cake.
It's very simple.
Flour, sugar, eggs.
Hey, save the princess. She'll bake you a fucking cake.
Good to know.
Good enough for me.
Now, another thing I did pick up. Now, it's one thing to have that story in this game. I would have suggested just taking out all the elements of the story personally, because what they do have in the game, the dialogue that you do have with the characters, very juvenile.
Oh, yeah,
like
it's a
kid's
kid's
Like,
game.
yeah.
Yeah.
But how difficult this game is, I don't know. It doesn't.
Have
I
you
don't know.
played a lot of Mario games?
I played a couple, not a ton. I played Mario All Stars and this one,
So, All Stars, you've played
1, 2, and 3,
1, 2, 3, and Super?
Yeah.
or
Super Mario
Lost
World.
Legends,
Lost Levels.
Lost
or
Levels.
Lost Levels. Thank you.
I mean, they all get hard towards the end.
Yeah.
This one, I honestly think this is one of the easier ones to get to Bowser than a lot of the other ones.
Oh, I mean, I'll go along with that. Well, we'll get to it when we get to gameplay, I guess. But
Yeah,
we'll definitely, I'll go along with it. Like I said, it was the first Mario game I beat. This one, I don't know why. I didn't beat the other ones when I was a kid. Where does Bowser come from? Why does he want Peach?
Dino Gina.
Dino Gina.
Yeah.
Wow. I
welcome.
like it.
You're welcome.
Sorry, I think you mispronounced that. It's Dinoginia.
Dino Genia.
Gina.
It's like Virginia.
Gina.
And Peach is actually Bowser's daughter. Makes it real creepy.
Peach is Bowser. Okay, no, we're not going there. You keep your fan fiction under your bed, Clark.
That's not fan fiction.
But I mean, they could have included that. Like, what is Bowser trying to get out of all of this?
Cake. He loves cake.
Okay.
He doesn't want Mario to have that cake. That cake is all for Mario.
I don't know. I think Bowser wants Peach to love him.
Oh man, this is getting deep.
No,
I don't think it's
I'm
that
dead
deep.
serious.
honestly.
Like I think he like steals her all the time because he wants to like marry her and stuff. Isn't that the theme in 3?
He's never known love.
He steals
I
her
get from a princess.
He steals her from a wedding in 3.
I don't.
Are you
what?
sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he steals her from a wedding or some sort of like royal celebration.
Something like that.
It's about her.
He just wants some love and cake
Yeah.
and human nanny.
He wants a little peach cobbler.
Oh, I like it. Fucking
Depending on who you talk to. Like
Spread it
Bowser
all
Jr.
over his shell.
Okay, we're going to move into gameplay now.
Gameplay.
The controls were fucking irritating.
Okay, hold on. Now, wait a minute.
That's how we're starting.
All right, I don't want to start that way.
All right.
Let's give a little bit of context. To take a bit of Steve's shtick, let me say that for the time, for 1996, for a 3D game, a 3D platformer like this,
That controller was awful. I agree.
that controller
It was terrible.
was the only way it could have been done.
Nope, because there were 3D games on a PlayStation at the same time.
But was there the analog stick on the PlayStation in 96?
no.
Right. So there was no analog stick at that time. So what, like Croc, do you use a D-pad for Croc? And
Yeah.
you turn using the shoulder buttons or something?
Yeah, but as soon
think
as
so.
the DualShock came out too, it had
Right,
support for the analogs.
Right, but okay, it had support for analogs. Okay. But honestly, I don't think you can really dispute the fact that the controls for this game were innovative for the time. Now, they might be archaic now, but for the time, they were innovative in a 3D environment using an analog stick like that.
Well, as a 10-year-old kid, 10? Yeah, sure, we'll go with 10. I actually thought the controller was really neat. But that's also because I only played it every once in a while. I didn't have to use that for all of my games. And then just after revisiting it, it's a pain in the ass. But at the same time, it sounds dumb, but I appreciate it. I like it. I think it really worked for the game. And no matter how frustrating the camera was the biggest pain in the ass.
Yeah, the camera was awful.
That was probably the thing that irritated me the most. I could deal with the stick. I could deal with the layout.
Could
That's
you?
fine.
Could you deal with the stick?
No.
I always deal with it.
Just real quick, I do want to say right off the bat, I know that the camera is a pain in the ass. I think the camera was a pain in the ass in 96, and it still is, but I still find the whole thing innovative for the time, and that was basically like a rough draft of the next generations and generations that we're still in.
No.
Go ahead.
I was trying to finish my point. Like, they are bad now. I think this is a instance where a game did not age well, is I think the best way to put it. Like
I 100% agree.
I think it was great. I think it is innovative for the time. I think the gameplay was just like the top of the market at that time. I just think it's like one of those games that just did not age like a fine wine. I think it's just depreciated severely with time.
I disagree.
Severely?
I really do. And that's just something where going back and playing this again, I had fun. Yeah, you get frustrated, but it's not a good game if you don't get frustrated at it once in a while, because that just means it's challenging you one way or another.
Right, like the third tier, it probably starts with the second. Once you get to the second floor of the castle, everything starts to get more difficult. And then as you get to the highest level with Tick-Tock Clock and Rainbow. Oh man, I'm
Rainbow Road.
Is it just Rainbow Road?
No,
That's Mario Kart, isn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway,
I know
level
what you're talking
15,
about.
World 15, the one where you ride the magic carpet. Those two are two of the most challenging levels, and then of course finally you have Bowser's third go. So in the third floor, it's not the third floor, it's the second floor. When you start to get into some of those worlds, the platforming and some of the things that the game asks you to do, it starts to get more difficult. That's when the learning curve really starts to kick in, I feel. And that's natural. It makes sense that the game's going to get harder. And I never felt that this game was cheap. Like it does get more difficult as you would expect in the later levels, but I never felt that it was really cheap. And I don't think the controls, I know I'm on thin ice here, I don't think the controls are part of the problem when it comes to the difficulty. Like, I never was like, damn it, stupid control stick, I would have made that jump if I had a D-pad.
Some of it for me was some of the angles, like where you had to make a jump and then all of a sudden, like right at the very end, you see, Mario's little circle dot shadow. And then it's like, oh, I actually made, that jump on, all depend on how like you're looking at it. But that's also where you can really utilize the camera and you can make it work for you, or it's just an utter bitch.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it. I think, okay, let's say I miss a jump on a certain area. I think there's a couple different factors working against you if you were to miss that jump. One is it's really hard to let's see. It's really hard to dictate the sensitivity of your movement. I think it's sometimes he's walking really slow, and you can just kind of switch between a faster movement and slower movement, and it's very easy to slip one way or another if you're trying to stay on one.
Okay, I'll give you that. Okay.
That's my one issue with the control. 2, with the camera angles, and then 3, with the depth perception on the game. I think, I'm not saying any one of those is the downfall of trying to achieve like a particular jump, but I think all 3 of those work in a certain combination, what makes it very frustrating and take some of the ability or the player's skill away from making that mistake to making it a almost like a gameplay mistake, not making that jump.
The level design is a detriment to the gameplay experience.
I'm just saying, like, because there are certain areas where that camera won't turn a full 360.
True.
So you cannot get a good angle.
True.
Especially on the inside of the volcano on the lava level.
Yeah, that's one that was a pain.
There's a couple where you're trying to kind of gauge a jump. And let's say you're, we'll use that example. I'm trying to make a jump from one of those poles to another. Now you have to turn him a certain way
to face the pole.
You want his back to face the pole. Now with the sensitivity, you're scooting him up and down. Like sometimes you can't just do a direct turn, like spin him around the pole.
Right.
You have to like swivel up and down the pole to get that angle right. That's
ride
no, it's true.
Ride that fucking pole.
You know what I'm talking
bitch.
about. So you got that working against you. You also can't turn the camera angle to make it like directly in a straight line to line it up correctly. And then some of them are on different levels, and it's really hard to gauge how far away that pole is by some of those angles. That's what I'm saying.
And Mario jumps to a fixed height, and you can miss it completely if you're too high.
Correct.
So,
that's what I'm saying. Like you have that depth perception,
yep.
the camera angle, and the sensitivity. Does that all make sense?
Yes, and I don't think any of
absolutely.
us are going to argue. None of us are going to argue with you that the game has that element where it's difficult, and the problem is the gameplay. It's there.
Yeah. So no, I don't want to rule it out. Like it was. Some of it is player error because you do have to get more skilled and really learn like the feel of this game to really excel at it. But I do think I wasn't going to spend like 100 hours,
100 hours, Harry?
I'm just saying to get like I probably spent a ton of time trying to get all 120 stars originally.
Oh, you were trying to get all 120?
No, not this playthrough, but I'm just saying like I think it takes that level and serious hours to like really get the feel.
No, it takes a serious commitment.
Yes.
Yeah, I gotcha.
Sorry, I thought you were going to call for something.
Oh, no, I was just yawning.
The volcano star that you're talking about, I know exactly which one that is, and I actually had that exact problem when I did it in my most recent playthrough. I did actually jump toward one of those floating poles and missed it, fell all the way down into the lava pit, and I think I didn't die. I think I got to a platform, but then had no coins left because I'd already gone up. I'd already done the circuit basically and got up to it, and then had to do it multiple times.
There's only one thing I liked about the camera, and that was the fact that the camera would cast a shadow. Did you notice that?
Oh, do you mean the actual, what's his name? The guy that actually floats behind you with a camera? Like if you go into...
That's the actual camera.
Right.
Yeah, like the camera is actually fixated to a creature that is following you.
Yeah, there's the one room in the third...
But
on
in
the
the mirror,
floor,
in the mirror
it has
room.
the mirror, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But the problem with that is that they actually made him have like a hitbox. So part of the reason that he would get caught on so many things, more so than others.
The camera physically couldn't move there?
Yes.
Oh, man. Of course. I didn't even think of that.
So he'd get like tied up on a wall. Or a lot of the times what would happen to me is I would have it zoomed out all the way so I could get the most depth perception that I could on a jump, especially if there's like a really critical one, like I was low health or something like that. I'd be going to do this. I would go and do the jump, and then all of a sudden he is stuck on a platform, and I can't see where Mario is, so I don't know if he is dangling or what. And I'd have to sit there and just fidget with the fucking camera.
That happened a couple times. The one Bowser level, it was when you're climbing up the pole, and then you have to get on the elevator to go up above this platform.
Bowser
Yes.
2.
That
Yeah.
was a point where the camera, and I knew like there was a moving like cinder block up top there, and I could easily just walk right off of the map. So I had to be very careful getting that camera back up to his spot.
I think a combination of the camera and controls could have been better. I'd be really curious to actually play that on like the Wii U or the Wii
with a more modern control stick.
Yeah, like a GameCube pad or a
Pro controller or gamepad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
A
I'd actually
nunchuck?
I'd actually have a lot more fun. A lot of my gripe is with that controller because I did play it with the 64 controller.
I'll admit, when I first sat down to play this again, I was like, wait a minute. I know I've played Mario 64 more recently. Why do the controls feel a little bit weird? And I think it had just been a while since I had the N64 in my hand, the N64 controller in my hand, and used the analog stick, because it really felt foreign for like maybe the first 4 stars, and then I was fine. Then I got used to it again.
Well, and you can imagine someone like myself who I never had a 64. I've never owned a 64. Right. Me sitting down to try to play that fucking game, especially with me being a 30-year-old man and having man-sized hands.
Oh, you didn't get the original controller for the N64 that was a little bit larger and of poor design?
No,
I have that one. You don't have the Judge for the N64.
That's a thing.
No, I'm making an Xbox joke.
Yeah, the Duke, you mean?
The Duke. Damn it, the Duke. It's the Duke. I know the Duke by the sound of his engines. No? Escape from New York? Nobody?
I did like the Duke controller, actually.
Why am I not surprised?
I have big hands, dude.
I'm going to sculpt you an N64 controller that's designed just for you.
No thanks.
I want to see that.
All right, so some of the basics with the controls. I don't know if you guys noticed or knew this, but I think... someone will correct me if I'm wrong. I think this is the only Mario game where he actually, except for Smash Brothers, where he throws like punches and kicks. Like you can defeat a Goomba by punching it and kicking it rather than just jumping on it. I'm pretty sure that Sunshine, there were no punches and kicks. Galaxy, you do the spin attack with the Starmie, or not Starmie. What are they called? The Star Guys. That it's like under Mario's hat.
I forget
Spin attack, yeah. So you like spin the Wiimote and he attacks. But this is the only one that has like the B button. I'm pretty sure is for punching and kicking. And then wahoo! I don't really miss it in later games, and I don't think I used it that much. I think I only used it to like pick up King Babam and a couple things here or there. Pick up the penguin, that kind of thing.
Kill Booze.
I got into the habit of like lunging at Booze just because of the way that they're designed. I found that lunging works really well, or just getting near them and doing a ground pound. A lot's been said about the controls on Mario 64. For the time, it did innovate quite a bit, I think, and one of my favorite moves, of course, is the long jump. I'm sure you guys can attest to just doing long jumps throughout long corridors, long sections of the game. I like the triple jump. That's a lot of fun. I even like to do the backflip. Like when I played this as a kid, I used the backflip constantly to get to certain areas, but then, of course, you can also... when Mario stops short and you change direction and do a jump, you'll do the same height as you would with a backflip. So you can, I don't want to say for more advanced Mario 64 players, but that's like a more advanced move that you can use to then, of course, wall jump and go wherever or do what you want to do. I do have there are a couple stars that really stand out in my mind when it comes to tricky maneuvers for jumping that you have to do. The one is in Boo's Mansion, when you have to get up to the roof to defeat Boo, and then you have to climb all the way up to the top of the building to get the star. And I still remember as a kid spending a lot of time just trying to get up to the highest, not the roof, but the highest floor, because you have to either do not the first jump, but when you push forward on the analog stick, you get 3 jumps of different heights. The second jump, and then do a wall jump immediately to get up there. And
you're talking about to get to the attic?
To get to the attic,
thank
you.
Get
yes.
to the roof.
Did you do the triple jump to get up there?
Well, okay, so as a kid, I think the triple jump was my preferred method to get there.
It's easier to do as a kid. And I think it's harder to understand some of these trickier maneuvers as a child. Just my opinion, because I didn't even know how to do the long jump as a kid. Like,
really?
I didn't.
How did you get through the game?
I didn't do certain stars
There's
for a long time.
Yeah, which is the one in the basement where you go in like the metal pool. There's a branching path right there, and you go to the left. You have to do a long jump to get to the other side.
Exactly. That halted my progress on the game for a long time as a child.
So did you ever get to Plessy then?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, but I'm just saying it probably was like a year later when I figured that out.
You were a man by then. Man.
I've always been a man. Ask your mom.
Yeah, okay.
Oh.
You don't know my mom.
She knows me.
We all know your mom, Larry. We all know your mom.
By the way, my preferred method for that was actually doing the wall jump.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I would do the single jump, wall jump up to it.
Yep.
And then when I had to run outside, that was like one of the trickier controller points that I
yeah.
because you have to do the long jump and then you have to like time running up the side of it because if you're on the slope for too long,
You'll
you
slide
slide and you just fall to your death. Well, not to your death, but it's like 6 of the pieces of your health go away.
6, really?
Yeah. And then having to get to the platform and then crawling your whole fucking way to the star.
Nah, bullshit. I ran that.
I think I jumped it.
Did you
to
really?
to get to this, like I did a combination jump and running just a little bit to get up there. If I remember.
Oh, no, I
fucking
jumped
say,
the entire time. As long as you kept jumping, you wouldn't slide off of the roof. So I kept jumping to get to that platform with the star.
You sure?
Yeah, okay. So you have to do from that ledge where you kill Boo.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
you do a long jump over to the one
Right.
walkway. I started to walk up that way, but I lost my grip. So I just kept jumping
Until you
until
got
I
there.
got to that platform.
I see you looked out. I couldn't get into the right rhythm for jumping for that.
I'll tell you what was frustrating, though. I would hit Boo, because you had to hit him 3 times, right, to kill him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would hit him twice and try to circle around him and keep going back in that doorway and resetting the fight.
Oh, God.
Sucks.
I did it like 10 times. No
I
lie.
thought you were going to say you fell off and then had to go back up.
Oh,
when
that
you went
happened
up.
a couple times, too. It's such a
Yeah.
small fucking ledge, and he's such a big fucking ghost.
I'm glad that this star sticks out in your mind, guys, because that was one when I was a kid. I spent a lot of time trying to do that one.
It's not my least favorite.
remember.
That fucking fat-ass penguin race down the slide. That was my downfall. Cool mountain. Cool mountain. Cool mountain.
Yeah, fuck that penguin, though.
So another jump that always got me was when you try to speak to the pink little Babam in Wet Dry World when you're trying to unlock the cannon to go to like the other hidden section of that world. And I would always try to do a triple jump on the wooden platform to get up to him. But as Clark has explained to me before we started, that you can just turn around and do a backflip and get up there no problem. I spent countless hours trying to do a triple jump on this tiny little platform, and I didn't even have to. That's one that it's you only have like so small a space to pull off the triple jump. It can be done, but it takes a lot of practice and attempts.
You weren't the only one that tried doing it that way.
Yeah.
I didn't think the backflip. It was like, oh, okay, well, I can jump again, and then try to get up there, and it was just such a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
But eventually, you get up there. But apparently, it was done a lot easier.
Oh, that was after some trial and error.
Oh, well, sure.
I didn't just
Yeah,
oh yeah, backflip. This is what to no.
This is just what I do.
Yeah. Wet Dry World, or also known as Peach's vagina.
Oh, just like her cake.
Wait, so does it have a secret area? Filled with red coins? I didn't say that. That didn't come out of my mouth.
Well, depending on where you enter it, it's either really dry or really wet.
Oh my god.
So thought it'd be fun. Let's go through all the levels, and we'll talk about them just a little bit and see who likes what, who hates what, and what's what. So we started on Babam Battlefield.
Great level.
Classic.
I enjoyed it. That was good.
Yeah, no, I felt, okay, the slow pace of this level is what I really enjoyed. I felt this was a very casual, pick up the stars, just do menial little tasks to get the stuff done. I thought it was a good introduction to the game, and I wish more of the game was simplified like this.
You can't fall off like a slope. Basically.
No,
you
you can't.
You
Yeah,
can't
there's
fall
no
to an
insta-deaths, really.
No.
infinity like void. That one, you have breathing room. You have the space to experiment with all the jumps and attacks and everything that you can do. So it's a perfect first level for the game.
And next we had Womp's Fortress.
I think it's another good one. It actually does, of course, introduce the idea of an insta-death pit
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
all around it. It's another very sort of big at the bottom, small at the top level, which is a recurring theme within the game.
A lot of cones in this game.
Lots of cones.
Now that you think about it, they love their cones.
Lots of cones.
No, Nintendo.
No, it was a good level though. I thought the design was good. I'd like.
Yeah, I like that one as well.
Interestingly, that's the only one that has that little owl friend, right? That you can
Yeah, you pop out of that tree.
Oh yeah.
and you hold A and he'll come down and pick you up and all that. I don't think you use him ever again or see him ever again.
That's okay. It makes it unique to that level.
It does.
And that's what I think. Certain levels are very bland. That they're almost like copy and paste of other levels, in my opinion. But I don't know. I think they should
Mixes it
keep
up.
they should keep unique stuff to certain levels.
Like the the giant vulture in Shifting Sands.
Yeah,
Yep.
He's unique
Yeah,
to that
that-
level,
mhm.
isn't he?
he stole my hat once.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that
happened to
son
me.
of a bitch. I think we all had our hat taken from him. Then it was Jolly Roger Bay, which actually I really like that one.
Yeah. That was a really good one as well. That's the one with the sunken ship
Yeah.
that you have to raise up. I thought that was really cool because that's kind of your first really dynamic world change that you affect.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought that was actually really cool.
That's true.
That was one of my like favorite levels right there.
The music.
I did not like that star you had to get on the eel's tail.
That took me a couple tries, but
Again, that came back to the depth perception again, and just him waving the tail around. And if you run into him, it's like almost you're dead because it gives
Yeah.
you like one or maybe two slivers of life, not enough to get to coins or to the surface to get your air. It would just, I don't know, it would just kill you.
He fucks your world
Agreed.
up.
Agreed, that one's tough. But really, for that, the most important thing that stands in my mind for Jolly Roger Bay is the music. I would go in there and just let Mario fall asleep and listen to the music.
And, of course, everybody's favorite, Cool Cool Mountain.
Fuck cool.
Yeah, fuck cool now.
You know, I can't remember now. Did I beat the penguin in my stream? Did you not see that?
I don't remember you actually. I think you were like, "Nah, I'll just do this one later," and then went. Yeah. So for anyone listening too, Ralph did a stream. I commented on the first hour. I was in the chat, and that's actually something that we're going to be doing more of going forward.
No, I will say, you playing through this game, you may disagree, Ralph, but you made this game your bitch.
Oh, come on. now.
you did.
It took me almost 5 hours to beat it.
Oh.
That's a long time.
It took me like an agonizing 12.
Okay.
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 Dear Mario, I have baked a cake for you.
Shut up, bitch.
But no, I think most of the stars in Cool Mountain revolved around you starting at the top of the mountain and somehow ending at the bottom of the mountain to earn that star.
Definitely.
Opposite cone.
Yes, opposite cone.
For that one that always eluded me was the Snowman, and even upon doing it again for the stream, I found that I couldn't remember what it was I had to do to get the snowman's body to reach the head.
Yeah, I didn't get that star either. I had no idea how to do that.
It has its own a unique gameplay mechanic where you have to race the body down, and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. You have to lead it to the head, and the body will follow you. You have to stand behind and to the side of the head, and the body will roll and follow Mario. So I can't think of any other example where there's an object in the game world where it actually will follow Mario, and depending on where you go, it changes that. At least in that manner.
Yeah.
Now, one issue with that. Now, there are some stars you can jump ahead and earn before it's unlocked in the main menu.
If you know where it is, yeah.
That is one of those ones I don't think I was able to unlock because I never beat the penguin.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, certain things do change in the environment, certain reactions, because like the Koopa race ones, you have to specifically click on that star to unlock that option of a quest.
Right, because he just won't be standing there.
Exactly. And I think the Snowman one was one of those ones, and they put that fucking penguin race before it. So I only think I got half of the stars in that world because I was limited on my options there.
Yeah, oh my god, that penguin race. I spent 45 minutes on the penguin race and was just like, I'm just moving on. Fuck it. Fuck these penguins.
Before something breaks.
Yeah. And I was using somebody else's 64, so I did not want to break it.
No, that wouldn't work out too well. Big Boo's Haunt, which is actually when I kicked it and started watching some of Ralph's live stream. That's when I saw that happening. Thought it was okay.
Big Boo's Haunt is one of my absolute favorites, actually. I used to love going into that one and doing all the stars.
Yeah, that's the one that we were just talking about, right? Where you have to like do the final jump across.
Yep.
Yeah, that was an amazing level too, because there's like the two main sections, and I think that's actually where it first introduces like, look, there's going to be like two completely separate areas that you're going to go to in one map. Really, because I mean, I guess Jolly Roger Bay had that like one little offshoot, but it was only one room at the end of a long tunnel, where this was like, oh, there's going to be completely different mechanics over here, where you're like going down to the merry-go-round in the shack, and then you do the like the house itself. I thought it was really cool.
No, I will say there were, I'll just say the one for now, but they did have a very, like, because at this point, this is what, mid-game, you'd say, when you're about, or early mid-game?
Kind of getting there, yeah.
Yeah.
When you're getting to Boo's place.
You're about a third of the way, because there's 15 levels.
Yeah. They had a star to be earned in this level that was so dumbed down. There was it was
The merry-go-round?
No, the book puzzle one. The three.
Oh, that was so easy. You're right.
I know. I'm just saying, you're getting early mid-game at this point. Why are we throwing these very basic functions at the player at this point? I thought it was very out of place, or they could have done something a little bit more creative with some of these stars.
I won't argue with that.
Then we have the Hazy Maze Cave.
Hazy Maze Cave. That is in the basement. Is that correct?
That's the metal pool,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I don't remember a lot of that one.
I thought it was very boring.
Oh,
So Hazy Maze Cave, I do want to say that's one of my favorite levels. Like, I love the music in it. I love the way that you can go. You just keep going further down, and you find Plessy, which is like basically the Loch Ness monster in the basement.
You get to ride around a little bit.
Yeah, and when I was a kid, I didn't think anything of it, but now going back, I was like, you have to ground pound Plessy's back in order for its head to come down. I was like, ooh,
Yeah, you got to pound that
That's-
dinosaur.
yeah. Well, there's that,
You gotta pound it.
but
Pound
also
that
it's like, I
dinosaur.
was like, it's kind of cruel.
You don't
This
have to.
poor
You can
animal.
just run up on her head.
I
The
don't-
easy-
sure?
the-
That's
She'll-
how I played the entire time. You
Really?
just jump onto her head, and then you could steer her.
Oh, so
whatever.
I'm just a sicko who likes to,
You just like to pound animals.
yeah, I just like to beat up on, the Loch Ness monster.
turtles and Goombas and
Yeah, right.
Fucking Goombas.
I do like
Fuck,
the
you're getting
like.
cocky, Mario.
Getting cocky.
Don't get cocky. The like mustard gas like maze seemed really out of place and weird, but I still liked it. And I also find it really odd that the metal Mario power up is in an actual level. Like the invisibility power up and the flight cap, those are actually like stars within the castle, but this one is within that world. Like you have to ride Plessy in order to get there and then unlock it. I just thought it was a weird choice. I don't know why they didn't make it somewhere like in the moat in front of the castle or something.
So then Lethal Lava Land.
Lethal Lava Land was where you had to beat up the bullies for the first time, right?
Yeah.
The big one, and then he's like his kids.
Yeah.
The big bully is fucking annoying.
Yep.
He is a pain in the ass to push off that fucking
Yeah.
platform.
Oh, yeah.
I remembered him being easier. Going back and playing it now, I was like, I can't beat this bully. What the hell is this? And then I found you just do Mario's kick. You just have to like time it a little bit,
Jump and kick
a
him.
little
It's
bit
like it
early,
goes back
Yeah.
and then
and
back
he'll
yeah.
he'll go off.
This also had another one of those, and this is officially like midpoint in the game. This had a very easy star. The red coins in this one, they were
Yeah.
on the moving tile puzzle. So easy.
Yeah.
So easy.
By the time I got to that one, I don't know about you guys, but I had unlocked the flight cap, and if you go left instead of right, there's a flight cap, and you just do a triple jump, and you can fly anywhere in that level.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is what I did.
Actually, speaking of the caps real quick, there's the invisibility cap, there's the
Metal cap.
metal cap,
Which
and
doesn't
the-
last long enough.
And the
and the flight cap. I actually waited until I had unlocked all the levels, then went and got my 3 stars for unlocking all the different caps, and then went and finished off all those challenges involving
okay.
the
Yeah, because there was quite a few with the metal cap you couldn't do until you unlocked that. Like,
Right,
A lot
yeah.
of them in the water levels.
Yeah, we have to walk in under the water
Yeah.
and all that.
fall through a jet stream.
Yep.
Actually, I think that's the name of the star, through the jet stream.
Through the jet stream.
It is.
Yep, on Jolly Roger.
Yes. I did like in the Lava Land where you could actually ride around on the lava on the turtle shell.
Yeah, that was pretty
Yeah,
cool.
that-
But
was-
it's
I
always
found
fun.
myself bumping into something just slightly and then losing the shell immediately.
Oh, yeah,
and
then you're done.
It's just like instant death.
Whoa! I like the way that you can use that to your advantage if need be. Like if you're trying to make a jump and you can't, and you fall into the lava intentionally, you get like a pretty far jump.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably similar to a long jump, but there are some situations where it's advantageous to jump into the lava if you know what you're doing. I kind of like the concept of going into the volcano and then there being another area, very similar to the next one. I'm pretty sure is
Shifting Sand.
Shifting Sands, where you have the pyramid. They seem to have a theme there that there's the regular world and then an interior area. But the lava one, yeah, it's okay.
Are we moving on to shifting?
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
I had issues with the one getting to the top of the 4 pillars. I eventually gave up.
Oh, so we
on
are
it.
moving into the shifting sand.
Yeah.
No, I had an issue with that one. I fell into the quicksand quite a few times, and it's like instant death.
Me too.
Right in the middle of the level, and it's just like, even if you put a toe in it, it's just,
Yeah.
you're sinking.
What I did for that one was I did a triple jump up to the top of that like platform near the Sarlacc pit, as I like to call it, the little sand instant death thing right in the beginning of the level. You get the flight cap, do another triple jump, and from there you can ground pound. Like you wait for your shadow to hover over the pillar, and then do like a ground pound, and you'll drop right down. And the 2 that are in those instant death areas are pretty tough, and then the other 2 are really easy because you can just walk up and do them.
Did find utilizing the flight cap really helped out with that a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That was actually one of my least favorite levels.
I have to admit, I'm pretty nostalgic on that one because I do like going into the pyramid and fighting the boss with 2 hands, which always reminded me of Andros, and it also reminds me of Bongo Bongo in Ocarina of Time. It just seems like Nintendo has this theme of bosses where they have hands with a weak spot, or with a weak point. I liked that one, and just going in and exploring the interior of the pyramid. That's
hands are like always an ongoing theme for Nintendo.
Oh, Smash Brothers, yeah.
Yeah, Smash Brothers bosses. There's always giant hand.
It's literally a giant hand.
Yep.
And of course, there's the vulture that'll steal your hat in that one.
Yeah, the little bastard.
He's easier to kill than the monkey, which we'll talk about it.
You killed him?
The vulture?
Yeah.
Or at least hit him or not.
And he goes like goes away for a little bit.
Then it's Dire Docks.
Dire Docks.
That was the one that had the whirlpool right in the first water area you drop into.
The one that's right with Bowser's second.
His,
and it has the stars in the chest, in the 4 chests.
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, there's that. It's got Bowser's sub is the one.
Yeah,
right. That was a pretty good. There was a pretty.
I
good
don't
one.
think I spent too much time on that level. I got a couple quick stars in there and just bounced.
I think I got all the stars out of that one except for the
got
100
4.
coin. I didn't do any of the 100 coin challenges.
Not for this run, I didn't either.
I did it on the first 2 levels.
Damn,
That's cool.
They're easy though.
You must have been hard up for stars.
No, I just remember those being easy, and I always liked doing the 100 coin stars, just not on difficult levels. But I don't
enough.
mind taking my time exploring every little nook and cranny of the level, just to I don't know.
I can appreciate that.
Get in them nooks and crannies, man.
You know what, like an English muffin.
I was gonna say English muffins.
Cut that shit with a fork. Then on to Snowman's Land.
I'm starting to lose my grip on what
Snowman's
these ones
Land is the
were.
one with the giant snowman that if you don't ride the penguin's head, he'll blow you off and you'll lose your hat as well.
Oh, right.
That one doesn't go far though. The hat just lands on the ground a couple feet away from you.
Right.
I think this is the only place I didn't get a single star in.
Really? Because there's another bully, an ice bully,
Yeah, I didn't
in
do
that
that.
one.
Yeah,
There's
the ice bully's easy.
there's the one star that's in like ice, like right to the left as soon as you fall into the world. And that one I thought was like, oh, I have to wait for the invisibility cap for that one. I was like, no, you don't. You just go in and solve the puzzle.
I
and get
was
the
trying
star.
to solve the puzzle and it was too difficult.
It took me like 15 seconds. It's like if you go in
The
on
right
the
camera
opposite,
angle.
If you go in on the opposite side from where you first see it, there's like a back entrance. If you go in, all you have to do is like jump up, go to the right, drop down, and then crawl. And
Yeah,
you're there.
Clark took the back entrance and found it.
Yeah.
This world, I think, is the only one where Mario has to crawl to get to a star because there's this tiny little igloo within the
Right.
snowman,
Right.
and that one's tough to. That's another one that I always like where the triangle sections like are moving on the platform, and it's like a small one, big one, small one, small one.
Oh,
big
that
one.
was
That's
frustrating.
a pain in the neck to
Oh,
try
yeah.
to get the rhythm on that, and then you have to climb up and then drop down to that little igloo.
Oh, I actually did a completely different way.
Yeah?
Yeah, so if you jump on the little twirly dude that's in the
Yes.
water and you go over and you get the 1 star in the left box,
Yes.
in the right box is a turtle shell.
Yeah.
You can ride on. You can ride it across the water, go right up the thing,
Oh,
and then
okay.
hop over the fence.
Nice.
Onto the wet dry world.
Wet Dry World is one of my favorites.
Peach's Vagina is one of my favorites.
Yeah, I did enjoy Peach's Vagina.
I did. Like I said, I got all the stars in this one. I'm sorry, I don't remember how I did the bomb thing or unlock the cannon.
Right. No, that's fine. I just when I was a kid, the one where it's in like the fence and has the 2 platforms, I never figured that one out. I don't know. I just couldn't do it. I looked it up this time and found out it was really easy to do. But it's another one of those worlds that has like a secret area that you can continue to go through, and I really always liked that about Wet Dry World. Like the different water levels, it's like, no big deal. They probably handled it better than the Water Temple in Ocarina of Time.
Oh.
But I
guess you never played that, didn't you?
Nope.
I liked that. Like, just aim for the corner of the world and you know, go in and
Yeah.
swim down through. And then there's like this hidden town. It's like, well, who lives here?
Yeah.
Like, what is this?
What is this place?
And that's the first level in the game that, depending on how you enter the game, or enter the world, rather.
Oh, the height in the picture.
Yeah, the height in the picture. It matters where the water level is when you spawn into it.
Fuck, I
didn't
didn't
know
know that.
You didn't know that?
It always seemed to start at the same level for me.
Did you always jump into it?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, so if you jump in at mid-level, the water is mid-high. If you jump and just kind of crawl over into the ledge, it's at the bottom. And then if you stand there and do a backflip, it's at its highest.
Did you find it was really difficult to change the water level to your liking?
No, not really. I did it so many times that I just knew, boom, I got to get to here to do that one. Got to get to here to raise it to that level. Like it's
Yeah. Well, like, it's weird because, like, 3 or 4 of those stars, you need to have the water level at low to begin with.
Right.
Like, to begin the level. Like the
one with the cage where you
Yeah,
got to drop
the cage,
the elevator down.
the number game.
Yes. Yeah.
Is that the first world to have that?
No.
Because I forgot about that whole sort of game mechanic going
there
back
was
to
weird.
it. And I didn't get any of those stars in this playthrough. I was like, oh yeah, you have to go here and here and here and here, and a star will appear.
That wasn't a difficult star to get, though, at least in my opinion.
Sure.
No, it's not a difficult star to get if you know where you're looking for the stuff. I mean, if you didn't, like, I got to that point for the unlock and I was like, what the fuck is this? So I had to actually, like, look it up and I was like, okay. But yeah, it's not too bad. But that's where, you know, it introduces the whole, it's going to matter how you enter this world type of tactic.
Right.
Because then you see that like 2 or 3 other times throughout the rest.
Where it just depends. And where it switches it up, and that's kind of cool, where you're kind of have 3 different levels in one level.
Yeah.
Ish.
TikTok clock and what's it called? Is it Big Small World or
I mean, Tiny Huge Island,
Tiny Huge Island?
which
Yeah,
comes
Tiny Huge
after
Island.
Tall Mountain.
Because there are two different paintings, right?
Right.
Well, yeah. Why don't we do the?
We'll do them in order. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Just getting excited. All right. Well, next is Tall Mountain with that damn little monkey.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah,
That
that
little
fucking monkey.
Thieving monkey.
Another slide level. Another slide
Mm-hmm.
world.
I like that slide. That one took me quite a few tries, but thank God they gave you the extra, the 1-ups on the actual slide itself. So if you did fuck up, you can keep trying without having to start all the way at the bottom of the mountain and climb all the way up
Right.
again.
I might have been delirious at that point from my play, but I remembered there being a slide, but I didn't seek it out. I probably should have to.
It
full
was
experience.
actually because the 1 star is you have to get to the very top of the mountain. As you're walking past this ledge,
Oh, there's
one of
like
the
a hole,
rocks,
right?
No, it not. It moves like one of the pictures. You know how like that has that water effect
Where
right
it's
before
like
you're
the,
about to
like
jump
the
in.
ripple.
Yeah, exactly. That's what caught me off guard. I was like, "Ooh, what the fuck is this?" But yeah,
Right. I'll go back and play that one.
it was an okay map. I'm not going to say it's one of my favorites, but
It's a little bit more difficult, I think.
it is. It is.
And then now getting to your Tiny Huge World. Tiny Huge Island.
Tiny Huge Island. I always remembered the flounder with the sunglasses in that one.
Yeah.
That'll eat you, just flat
Yeah.
out eat you if you're in the water.
Mhm.
Yep. Got to avoid the shit out of him.
Yeah, and of course there's that one Koopa on the hill that you can steal his shell and just skip the water altogether by riding around on it. And I do also remember at the very top of the mountain, that's where I can't remember the name of the caterpillar character in these Mario games. Does it start with a W?
I don't remember.
No.
Wiggler.
Wiggler, thank you.
Yeah.
You have to defeat Wiggler in single combat, which is always a
Single combat.
Single combat.
man versus caterpillar, I think.
Thing-ish, kind of.
This is one of those levels I wish they would have done more with. I was not, I don't know, I was not...
I am not impressed by your performance.
Yeah, I think that was. I wasn't impressed with it. It was a boring area in my opinion.
Great concept, executed poorly.
Exactly.
Yeah. The only thing that I really, really enjoyed about that level was going in as Big Mario and just like jumping 4 or 5 times and being at the top of the mountain. That was awesome. Like just like boop 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 boop. I'm here.
I did it.
Yeah.
Then the TikTok clock.
I did not do this
Alrighty,
level.
TikTok clock, jeez. Of course, that's the one where, depending on where the hands are, it changes the speed of the moving platforms in the level.
Yeah.
I know that there are some stars there that are fairly easy to get to, but for my last playthrough, I didn't get any stars in TikTok clock.
Yeah, I think I just kind of skipped it all together, to be honest with you.
No, I got a couple stars in there. This is actually. I wish I would have spent more time in this area than maybe some of the lackluster areas I discussed earlier. I did get. I think it was like 3 stars out of this place, and I think that I definitely could have spent more time exploring this map. I did enjoy it. I thought it was a creative design, to be honest with you.
No regrets.
No what?
No regrets.
Regrets? No regrets?
No
Oh.
regrets.
Yeah.
No regrets.
No regrets.
And then
Not mean.
Cash me outside, how about that?
Oh my God. Cash me outside about that.
Catch me outside. How about that,
About
Mario?
the Rainbow Ride.
Okay, so Rainbow Ride. I remember spending a lot of time there when I was a kid and going through it this time. I found a couple stars that I didn't remember. Like there's the one branching path that I was surprised was there, and to me that one is just sort of like that's the pinnacle, the evolution of the concept. Like this is as far as it's almost like a defaulted or not defaulted. It's almost like an extra Bowser world basically on the layout.
It is. No, I definitely agree.
You know what I mean? Because it's nothing but a bottomless pit and a very, very small platforms. I think it was a good way to end the game. Like, this is the final world. You have to use all the skills and everything that you've amassed throughout the game, and this is your final world. Go. Secret stars.
I love how Toad just fucking handed them out like candy.
Toad hands out what, 3 or 4?
I think
I
3
got
of them.
3. I got 3
Three.
from him. Yeah.
Did anyone catch the rabbit?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
I got both of them.
Mips?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I got nips twice.
Not
Or
nips.
mips.
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 I got both them nips.
I got both.
Oh my god.
I got both them nip stars.
Wait, let me go.
Yeah, wait, let me go. Nah. Just gonna abuse you a little bit.
Don't abuse those nips. Give me a stars.
Bunch of sadists in here.
Yeah, that's a lot coming from the guy who's pounding the back of a dinosaur.
Poor Plessy. I'm so sorry.
I know, I cried every time. It's like, shut up. Take it.
Oh my god. You didn't just say that.
Oh boy.
Oh,
Go ahead,
sorry.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Rip.
Fine, then I'll go. The secret slides. That's fine. Yeah.
Right. No, that's secret slide.
The secret slides.
You're gonna slither in.
Peach's secret slides.
Oh god.
Peach has a secret slide. Slide right in.
Step on up, boys. Come take a ride.
Dear Mario, I had made a slide for you. Yours truly, Princess Toadstool.
I call it the rainbow ride.
Peach,
Oh.
strawberry shortcake.
Okay.
Oh.
Oh no.
So the slides, I do, of course, the first slide is a lot of fun. And recently, not for this run, but recently, a couple weeks ago, I played that slide again, and like second try got the 22nd star, which was something it was one of my what do you call it? What's the animal when it gets away from you? What do they call that?
The white whale.
Thank you very
The
much.
white whale.
Oh.
Moby Dick. It was my white whale. I could never get it when I was a kid. One of those other stars. I guess I have a couple white whale stars. It's just
I'm dead.
a school of white whales. Total. I had several white whales, but I got that one. Did you guys get the 22nd the castle slide?
No, I didn't.
No.
I got all the caps. I got all the stars from the caps.
Oh, so the red coins in those?
No, you get a star for all the cap levels.
Do you?
Sorry,
Yeah.
it might be the red coins.
Yeah,
in
I
each
think there are
level.
eight red coins in each one of those.
Yeah, but you have to do the red coins to unlock the cap.
No, you just gotta hit that button.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The button just gets you the cap.
Oh,
Because the only one I did was Metal Mario because they're all right there and it's really easy.
I'm not gonna lie. I used a lot of the secret stars. I looked up a bunch of the secret stars to get through the game.
That's how you play it, man. It's all right.
Gotta
No,
do
I
what
mean
you
I
gotta
got to
do.
60 and I was like, I need to just be finished with this. And
Oh, okay.
I looked up the locations of them.
65 hours in. 7 shots of espresso and this red eye latte.
When
Mario's
I got
going
to
down.
65, I was like, fuck, there's only hard stars left to get. I did look up secret
Hard
stars at that
stars.
point.
Oh, okay.
And then found that Toad just hands out 3 of them. And I was like, ka-ching!
What a nice surprise.
Yeah, it was nice. Love it.
And then there was the aquarium level.
Oh, the
secret-
aquarium level in
right.
I like that
Dinosaur
one.
Docks.
That was
I
a
like
nice-
it
Yeah.
too. Actually, yeah, I think it's weird. It's one of the weirdest levels because it's just a world full of water and there are windows that you can look out of. It's like, where am I? Most of them, it's like based in reality, kinda where you are.
Oh, really?
But this
Oh,
one,
really?
well, I mean, you know,
Reality.
I like putting on my winged cap and jumping and flying around.
but
too.
you're in the sky. Like
I
you're in
do
the
triple
sky.
jumps all the time.
I love when you drive through
Guys.
Royersford and you see that giant bomb on a mountain.
Oh yeah,
Guys, okay,
You
not that,
you can't grab me from my behind.
not that kind of reality.
It's cool. I wrestled Bowser yesterday.
alternative
Seasoned.
reality. Did I say that? No, I didn't.
Don't say
No.
alternative reality. Alternative facts.
Alternative
here.
facts. It was an alternative reality. No, but what I mean is, like, you know, this one there's a mountain. This one there's a dock. This one there's, you know, it's for that secret star. You're like in a box filled with water, and there are windows. It's like, what is this supposed to be? It's not like it's a fish tank or like a fish bowl. Like
There's
what?
some fish in there.
Yeah, I know, but at the same time, you don't see a fish tank with like windows.
Should we move on to the Bowser battles then?
Sure, there are 3 stars in each of those
No, there's not. There's keys.
stars.
Oh,
They're
the
red
red
coins.
coins.
Boom, son.
Don't try to out
You
Mario
you
me.
just got
Harry
wrecked,
Balls.
son.
Yeah.
Mario's like he's working out at a gym, and he's just working a heavy bag. You know you want to see that.
I don't.
You know that's funny.
It is funny.
So
Here we go.
Bowser,
He's a punk
Cool.
little bitch.
yeah, he is kind of the. he is
Dun
kind of
dun
a
dun
bitch.
boom. Dun.
So
Boom, boom,
so
dun.
Bowser himself is a pretty easy battle. The 3 different times, you just grab his tail, center the camera. It always centers on a bomb. Throw.
What do you mean by center of the camera?
You know, if you press down, it centers the camera. It straightens the camera towards the way that you're looking. Well, when you're spinning, if you're spinning with Bowser and you straighten the camera, it always looks at a bomb. It's very easy to throw him that way.
I still managed to fuck that up a few times.
I think
It's just a pain.
in my playthrough, I actually defeated the final Bowser on the first go, but the other Bowsers, I don't think I did. I think Bowser
Really?
2. I think Bowser 2 got me. Bowser 2 ended up killing me somehow.
I had more trouble with the actual level of getting to him than fighting him himself.
Oh, those are fun.
Yeah, the third Bowser level, for as much of a pain in the ass the actual camera gets, that was actually one of the better courses. in
Oh
the
yeah.
game.
I like where the actual Bowser levels felt more of kind of like a throwback to like just as like the classic platform, because you have all these extra obstacles. I mean, obviously that is throughout the game, but instead of just being an entire world where you're going out, you know, back and forth with it, it's, I don't know, it's a little more to its roots, I guess is a best way to put it.
Yeah. It feels like the 3D version of fighting Bowser on a bridge, like you do in 2? No, 1?
One.
1.
Yeah, okay.
It feels like that. Like it's just you and him. There's no bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
It's you, him, and some fire and some bombs.
Bitch.
And Peach's cake on the table.
Slip and slide.
I'm surprised. So making that analogy on like the classic feel,
Mm-hmm.
whatever happened? Wasn't there an axe at some point?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to that? Did that get incorporated in the game whatsoever?
No, there's no hammer either. or Power Star or Fire or Mushroom. There's no power-ups in this game. It's the caps.
That's a missed opportunity there.
Yeah.
They didn't really work out Fire Flower until, was it Galaxy or Galaxy 2?
Fire Flower?
Or Fire Power, sorry. Like, where you get the flower and then you can throw fireballs. And Mario goes white and red.
That is in the first Mario game.
Yeah, I know. I know it's in the first one. It's in the third one. I'm saying in a 3D Mario.
Oh.
Sorry, I didn't say that.
Yeah.
It
I was
Galaxy.
like, what? That's been in Mario forever.
Harry just-
I'm just realizing that now, but those are some of like the tropes that are like
Oh, yeah.
associated with Mario. Like I feel
This-
like they really dropped the ball on that one.
Honestly, that's also another thing that I actually like kind of hold against this game, where I still think it's one of the,
Oh, yeah, Clark, you're going to tell me you're a Mario purist now?
I'm not a Mario purist. Do you want to get into final thoughts? We can go.
No,
there.
we got two more segments, guys.
Nope. Yep, beep, bap, boop.
Graphics.
All right, so let's move on to graphics. What do you guys think? The N64 launch title, 1996. No expansion pack, obviously. A lot of polygons, some 2D and 3D sprites working together. I don't know if you guys noticed, but if you look at a tree and then you turn left and right, it's just a 2D sprite that turns with Mario. It's one way that they got around some of the limitations of the N64. Personally, I feel that the game looks about as good as it could have for an N64 launch title. I have almost no gripes graphically that I can think of off the top of my head.
No
complaints.
I think it's groundbreaking for the time. I think they definitely set a new standard for like a 3D platformer. Being a launch title too, I think that was a good way to kick it off for the N64 generation.
Absolutely. One thing I will say is if you're going to make the comparison of like launch titles from the PlayStation and the 64, PlayStation decidedly went for a more like, I don't want to say gritty, but they went for a more realistic style. And you can see that throughout pretty much all of their stuff, going forward. Whereas Nintendo went for this like family friendly kind of like
It's cartoony.
cartoony
Yeah.
kind of feel to it, and that you can see expanded out as well.
Well,
like,
that's almost their MO. I mean,
Yeah.
right,
Well,
absolutely.
They do it really well.
And that's the thing. I'm not taking away from that. They've done that consistently from when I had my Super Nintendo till when I had my Wii and my 3DS now. Like,
Yeah.
it's something that they do very, very well, and they continue to do that. And it was very innovative going forward for that kind of cartoony look.
Yeah, all I was going to say was that I'm pretty sure that Sony targeted older gamers intentionally with the PlayStation.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
They weren't really going to put Metal Gear Solid on a Nintendo 64.
Right.
Colonel Peach's cake looks delicious.
I'm going to eat it all up.
Now, okay, correct me if I'm wrong on this one.
You're wrong. Wrong.
I feel like this happens a lot. I gotta stop
Wrong.
setting
Wrong.
my
Wrong.
follow-up thoughts with that phrase. I think it's apparent that they worked on certain levels more so than others.
I think it's a step parent.
What do you mean? What?
Because you said a parent and he said step parent.
All right. No rebuttal or
No,
follow-up?
some levels definitely seem to have some polish, and other ones didn't. I'm trying to think of a good example right off the bat.
No, not Hazy Days Maze. What is the one? It's either before or after Hazy Days. Oh wait, no. Maybe it is Hazy Days Maze.
Okay.
Is that the one that you jump into the metal?
Yes.
Yeah.
And is that one like predominantly green and like there's a bunch
Yes.
of like the red and the red stuff that you can climb on?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that I don't think was a very polished level in terms of just like.
It's pretty haphazard in now when you stop and think about it.
Yeah, it's very like abrupt looking. It's green walls with red, and it doesn't like it's not like visually appealing. Whereas like I can't think of anything like on Bob-omb's Battlefield that I didn't like about that level. Like
Right.
that level design and polish was amazing. Like you can just look around and you're like, oh, cool. Like it's nice. It looks constructed in a way. Whereas this was like, hey, we're just going to take a bunch of rooms, and so that you can't see the full breadth of this room, we're going to drop a black curtain so that you can only see a certain amount of depth to the room.
It's almost like an unfinished mine, which might have been what they were going for. But you're right. It's not a visually appealing level.
Right.
Now, something, I don't know if this has anything to do with it, but I feel like it's also one of the biggest levels. Like, to cross from one area all the way across, like, because, I mean, that's the one with Ness. Or not Ness, Plessy, right?
Plessy,
Yeah.
I mean, that's way down there. And, I mean, that's quite a travel
Right.
to get down to her. I feel like maybe they just spread out their resources in that level. And they didn't just focus on one, like, because, I mean, if it's a small area, you can really work on, oh, cool, we can throw this in, make this unique looking, really polish this out. Maybe because that one was so big, it got less attention per square foot, so to speak.
It does sort of go on and on if you want to consider the metal cap being part of it.
Yeah,
That's
and
one thing I hadn't
but
considered.
like that whole metal cap where you're like jumping up and then there's like the rushing water underneath, that was unique and interesting. But that was just one section of that. Like that seemed like it was really polished because they're like, look, everybody's gonna have to go get the metal cap.
It's a series of tubes. It's the internet. It's not something you just dump something on. It's not a big truck. It's a series of tubes. Hazy Maze Cave is a series. No, this joke didn't work. All right.
You knew where
I was trying.
going.
I was trying. Yeah, I didn't
Just
know.
me.
I didn't know where you're going with it either. I was
I'll
like,
show you when we're
did
done.
I say something?
I'll show you when we're done.
That was my biggest point. It just,
Yeah.
I saw a difference between certain levels.
No, absolutely. I mean, like the whole. If you think about even just like certain concepts for worlds, like Wet Dry World. Like that whole concept where you're constantly moving, think about like the level of like, okay, we need to make sure that like when the water is this high, you can access this, you can access this. And then you have, okay, it's not exactly the same, but like there are a bunch of cone-shaped landscapes in this. And some of them, it kind of feels like the fortress level where you're running around and the Cool Mountain.
Or like
could-
palette swaps.
Yeah, it could almost be palette swapped in a way. Like, not where you get up and then you actually, like, crawl up to the top where there's, like, all the gray cinder blocks for that. But, like, the actual, like, going around the mountain and stuff, it could just be the same thing, just, like, repalletized and kind of, like, move some stuff around. I could kind of see it.
Maybe by the time we got to, what's the mountain one with the monkey and the mushrooms?
Tall Mountain.
Tall Mountain, it was tired at that point. Would you
Yeah.
guys agree? That
Yeah.
By Tall Mountain, that the idea
cone.
of the cone, you start at the bottom, was pretty tired.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. No, that's a valid point. I didn't think of that before.
And they keep kind of handing it to you, too. Because there's Tall Mountain, and then almost immediately following it is Little Big World or whatever.
Tiny Huge Island.
Tiny Huge Island. It's the same idea.
All right, so we'll go back a little bit, gameplay and graphics, talk about Mario's face that you can manipulate in the opening. I don't know about you guys, but when I was a kid, I know I've said it a bunch of times, when I was a kid, I used to spend quite a bit of time just playing with Mario's face, just manipulating that, keeping it, and then getting it really funky and letting go of, I think, the B button, and his face just wow, 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 all comes right back together.
That was actually so popular that they made that a minigame in Mario Party.
Oh, really?
Yeah, where you have to like stretch his face out
The
and
first
match
one?
a picture.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
man, it's been a while. But
Yeah.
did you guys play around with that at all?
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's that would sometimes take up like a good 15, 20 minutes before I even just started playing the game. It's just another weird thing to do.
I didn't this playthrough. I actually kind of forgot that was there, but I do remember it now that you bring it up. Like I at my cousin's house that had a 64, I did that.
No, I think we all experimented with that at one point or another.
We've all experimented with Mario's face.
That mustache though.
Big nose.
Great ride.
Mustache rides.
It tickles and pokes all at the same time. Do.
Yeah, I'm good for.
Do you guys think Bowser was kind of ugly in his
Ugly?
design, his 3D design?
Bowser's
Bowser.
been Bowser, has been Bowser.
No,
Proportionally, he seemed way bigger. There was a way bigger variance than some of the older titles.
Well, yeah.
So
for
they
su-
really,
for sure,
they
but
really upgraded that.
I mean, have you played any Mario games past 64?
No,
really?
I have not.
Neither have I.
Bowser's huge in the first
So he just keeps
galaxy.
getting bigger.
Yeah, he's like planet-sized almost.
Would you say?
He's a planet.
No.
He's
You
a Death
started
Star.
it. I won.
No, I don't know. It seemed appropriate
Go
for
ahead.
Super Mario Galaxy.
Planet Bowser.
No, just keep moving.
No,
I wanna
Harry,
know.
let's hear it.
That's what I was trying to get at. I don't
No.
know how
What,
to formulate a
that he was-
joke out of it, though.
That he was planet-sized?
Yes,
Oh, I did it for you, no problem.
that wasn't a joke.
What wasn't a joke?
Well, that was a letdown.
Bobby Cat.
Fuck you.
I don't get it.
You want to throw a little anecdote into the podcast?
Yeah, yeah. Let's throw in the Bobby Cat thing. You heard us. We joked about it, I think, during the No Man's Sky episode. And now that the audience has been introduced to John is the other part of the story. Harry and I were visiting John in Kentucky, and we had just enjoyed a morning of touring a bunch of bourbon places and drinking a bunch of bourbon. And we're driving behind a tractor trailer with like one of those Bobcat excavators on the back of it. Harry's like, "Oh man, I thought of a really dumb joke." We're like, "All right, well, you gonna say it?" He's like, "No, it's too stupid. I can't do it."
I can bring it up though.
So we berated him until he told us, and he was like, "Oh, what do you call a baby bobcat?" A bobby cat. And we looked at him, and he was like, "No, get it? Because Bobby is like a kid's name for Bob." Not like Bob Kitten or Bob Kitty, like
Bobby Cat.
Yeah, Bobby Cat. John and I laughed hysterically for 10 minutes, then proceeded for 15 minutes to harass Harry and call him an asshole.
And he never told another joke.
No, he still has, but oh boy, Bobby Cat goes back. It is fantastic.
See, they were laughing. It was a good joke.
Copyright 2012.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to music.
Music.
And thank you. Good night.
The crowd goes wild.
Go. So, what can be said about? I'm pretty sure this was Koji Kondo. Mario 64 soundtrack. There actually aren't all that many tracks. They're very catchy. They get stuck in your head. Personal favorites. Bowser's like intro theme that sounds very like 90s rock, which is kind of cheesy. Dire Dire Docks. Just good old Bob-omb Battlefield and some of the other classic Mario tracks. But I think the music's great.
Yeah, I think it's just a lot of modernized classic sounds.
Yeah.
Realistically. And all the sounds in the game, with the exception of Peach's voice, because it's glass-breakingly bad, but
Peach, the power of the stars has returned to the castle.
Yes, exactly. So the music's, it's fine. It's classic Mario music. It's catchy, gets stuck in your head. It's iconic.
It's good.
I think the best way to put it in simple terms is it's a nice spin on classic music.
Yeah,
because they bring back quite a few of the classic songs.
Yep,
which they should have. If they didn't, shit on their face.
Steve, the music?
That's what I was trying to look, because I could have swore I saw there was actually like a pretty big list for the soundtrack.
Yeah, I think it was 55 minutes total. You can listen to the entire thing.
Yeah, I think, exactly. Okay, so you saw that.
I saw that list.
Yeah. It's like at the end, it's like it's 50 minutes worth of music. I'm like, it's actually more than what I would have expected.
I think I had the soundtrack at home, to be honest with you. Yeah.
Cool. Really?
Yeah.
I have the soundtrack for Galaxy, and that's like 3 discs.
Jesus.
Now, of course, that's like orchestrated, and
Jesus, really?
Oh yeah, it's really great. But
yeah, actually, the soundtrack for Galaxy is fucking amazing.
By comparison, it's not quite as long as some of the other ones, and I don't know what Sunshine's like off the top of my head, but
it's very tropical.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, is it Charles Martinet or Martinet who did Mario's voice? Yes. So
yeah.
And I think this was the first time they used him.
Actually, that's not true. And just to nerd out a little bit, I think it was it's not Mario is Missing, but it was some other game that he provided the voice.
Mario is Missing.
He provided the voice for. It was either that or like some like obscure like
that would
Mario
be weird.
alphabet game.
Because in Mario is Missing, you're playing as Luigi almost the entire game.
It wasn't that one. Then. Yeah. But no, this was not his first, but this was the first big one that Charles Martinet provided the voice, and he also does Wario and Luigi. And probably Waluigi too, and Donkey Kong, I think. He's like the Mel Blanc of Nintendo games.
I thought he was gonna say Mel Gibson for a second.
He's like the Mel Gibson.
We're gonna
of
bury
Nintendo.
her in a rose garden. Fucking Jews!
Really, guys?
I'm just saying.
No.
I was making fun of Mel Gibson.
Yeah.
Wasn't any reflection on my own.
I think Mel Gibson is
a terrible human being.
Yeah, but I think we've. All right, we're not going to talk about Mel Gibson in the actual cut of the podcast.
Yes,
Sorry.
please. Back to John Travolta.
Yeah. This is mine.
Get the shot!
Okay, no, we can't do it.
Get the shot!
It's going to be 40 minutes of that. We can't do it.
Sandy!
Okay, all right.
You know, we down on the beach.
Ralph, move us along. You're the host.
All right, let's move into to final thoughts. You guys like Grease or do you love Grease?
All right, try it again, Ralph.
You broke him.
Oh, we
Ralph's
broke Ralph.
dead. Ralph's dead.
I'm picturing that damn thing on Instagram of him hip thrusting.
God, why?
I don't know. Jamie Lee Curtis.
Final thoughts.
All right, guys, let's get into final thoughts. Mario 64, the ultimate video game experience. For a young Nintendo fanboy, the ultimate experience.
Are you a young Nintendo fanboy? I think you're an old
I used
Nintendo
to know
fanboy.
one. I'm not that much of a fanboy. I mean, I'm a fan. I'm I'm not. The Clark, I used to only own Nintendo consoles, and then I turned to the dark side. I think I bought a PS2. I don't remember.
That's fair.
But yeah, Mario 64, to me, it's one of the most important games I've ever played. A lot of nostalgia, full admission, tons of nostalgia for it. I do still think that it's a good game for the time, and now it's fun. If I had kids and they were, I don't know, maybe say older than 5, you know, I'd throw them the N64 controller and say, "Here, go." You know, I would that would be a fun experiment, personally. I think that would be really cool to see, you know, how a young kid adapts to the game and how they like it. But no, absolutely one of my favorites. Very important to me. Love it.
All right, so I didn't grow up with a 64. I don't have nostalgia for this game. I can only really say objectively that I've played a bunch of the Mario games. This is one of the very few ones that I hadn't beaten before. Realistically, I think it's one of the. I think it's a decent game, but I think it's one of the worst Mario games.
Is he coughing or crying?
No, I heard Ralph was like.
No, I'm trying not to burp. Sorry.
I heard him like
okay.
no, he went like this, and he's like.
I tried not to burp, I swear.
No, but I heard you do the mouth thing.
Clark, you're a monster. You're Bowser. You're never going to get any cake the rest of your life.
It's all right. I had some fun playing it. It became a struggle for me to actually I wanted to get done so I didn't have to play it anymore. And that's not, to me, what the basis for a good Mario game is.
Or any game.
Yeah. I stopped having fun with it at some point. It wasn't a matter... It was more difficulty with the camera and the controller. I really would be interested to see playing this on like a Wii or a Wii U. And see if I enjoyed the controls more, if I would enjoy the game more. The combination of those two things and just there's a weird difficulty spike at some point where you can't just like easy breezy get some stars. And I'm not saying that I'm, anti the challenge, but the challenge involved with dealing with the camera and the controller and then just making a hard Mario level, it was something that I just didn't enjoy playing at that point. So I enjoyed parts of the game, but it got to a point where I lost my enjoyment playing with it.
I can agree with a lot of the points you just made, Clark. Although I did have a 64 growing up, and I think I held this in higher regards back then. And getting back to that point I was making earlier, I just think the biggest issue with this game is I don't think it aged well as some games have over the time. Like there are some classic games I'll go back to where I still think it's like top notch, just like back in the day. From then to now, I just think it's gotten replaced. Actually, this is a point I wanted to make up. Came out a couple years after Super Mario, same concept and everything, but I think it was well more executed. Banjo-Kazooie.
Well, sure, it had something to go off of. It had something to emulate.
I'm
not
just saying, I
it's
think
a copycat or anything.
No. I'm just saying, I think they took everything that was wrong with Super Mario, polished it out, because I played Banjo-Kazooie 2-3 years ago. Still loved it.
I remember
Absolutely.
when you were on that kick.
Yeah, I played it for like a solid month.
You were playing it on the Xbox though,
Yeah.
with an Xbox controller.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just saying it's a different controller too. I'm wondering if you went back to a 64 with the 64 controller, if you would still.
Well, okay. One thing, Banjo.
They did fix the camera though.
Yeah.
I'm not like fighting you. I'm not like being
Yeah,
bad
no,
at it.
but I will say one thing specifically jumps out to me. Banjo-Kazooie. When you get a music, or not a music note, a puzzle piece in that game, you do a little dance, there's a little jingle, and then you can continue. In Super Mario, when you pick up a star, it immediately aborts you out of the map, and you have to start.
aborts you out of the map.
Poor choice in words.
Let's say I'm on the what's the first level called again? Bomb World or something?
Bomb Battlefield.
Bomb Battlefield, whatever. Let's say
Whatever. Fuck it.
I have 99 coins. I have 7 out of the 8 red, and I'm about to beat the Bomb King on the top.
Overachiever.
If I go to kill the bomb, it's going to push me out. If I collect that 8th red coin, pick up that star, it's going to kick me out.
Tool off a missile, switching to guns, eject. Ooh.
But you know what I'm saying, though? Like, it's halting progress on more than one thing at a time. You have to have
that your ass? What the fuck was that?
It's alive.
Like, oh my god. Clark, your ass is talking to us.
Just let Harry finish.
So, I guess the biggest point I'm trying to make
Stranded as a drive
is you have to have tunnel vision on all your stars.
What will they say? Monday at school.
Oh fuck.
So no, I think what I was just trying to say, you have to have tunnel vision on getting these stars, and I think it impedes any progress you've made on partially earned stars, more or less.
I've never played Banjo-Kazooie. I don't know how that happened. It just never came
It's
across
gonna come up at some point.
my desk, I guess. I never played it. You could be absolutely right that it improved on absolutely everything in Mario 64 and is a far superior game. But for me, the beginning of 3D platformers, that was a pinnacle.
Wish I would have kept my memories back in the day instead of replaying this. I think it brought it down a notch in my own mind for where this game would sit.
Don't worry, give it a couple years, you'll forget everything.
Steve, go.
So my final thought on this was when it was originally brought up to be played again, I did get excited because this was a game that I enjoyed because I did have time actually like a few years ago where I actually got to sit through and play because where I was living at had an N64 in it, which was pretty awesome. It did remind me of how frustrating this game could be. I don't know, it was kind of off and on for that, where I almost share some of the same feelings as Clark and Harry, where maybe it would have been a little better left untouched, but I'm glad we went through again, because that is something that, you know, I was glad to dive into the world of Mario 64.
And Peach's cake.
Eat all her cake
Some peach cobbler.
Okay.
on a slippery slide in wet dry land. Wet dry cake, Peach.
Let's move right on into the score.
The score.
Clark, you go first. No, wait, you always go last.
All
All right.
right, go.
Go ahead, Harry.
Go.
I am
Go.
Go.
Go!
Go.
Go.
That was a fun game, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
All right,
Go.
So long, Bibbles.
All right, I'm gonna rate this game.
I didn't even do anything at the time.
Above No Man's Sky?
I'm gonna rate this game above No Man's Sky,
Really? I'm shocked.
but this is gonna be below Max Payne 3.
Meaning it's in between those two?
I'm gonna give it a. We're gonna give it a 5.0
Wow.
Out of 10?
out of 10.
Wow.
I'm sorry. I just if
You don't need
if,
to apologize.
If I didn't replay it, it would have probably been around an 8. This second playthrough was painful. overall, but like I said, I do appreciate the game. That's why I'm not going to trash it. I don't know. A 5 out of 10 is pretty trashy.
Yeah, well,
that hasn't just
I know.
happened for the past hour.
I'm sticking to my guns on this. This is my list, and it's going at a 5
Damn.
Out of 5.
out of 10.
You tried, Ralph.
You did try.
Steve, go.
For myself, I would have to score this a B+. I don't know what else you want. That's
Okay. All right.
I'm just going to continue with my arbitrary. I'm going to give this
Cakes.
70 out of 120 stars.
How fitting. How
Yeah.
perfect.
Yes.
That is
because 70 stars is all you need to experience of this game.
I'm going to go with a 96.
Jesus. I want to ask you something about your score.
No, no.
I'm not.
No, that's full nostalgia. I mean.
Okay, yeah. I want to know, like, if you could be completely 100% objective about it, would you have the exact same score?
Probably not.
Okay.
Especially listening to all of your concerns, guys. You know, I'm hearing you out. I would have to say that it's probably about an 85.
Okay. But for the nostalgia of going back through and playing another,
I don't know. I just
Mario
didn't want to
game.
rate it the same as Earthbound, because Earthbound I did it 95, I think.
I think you gave Earthbound a 95.
No, can one last point though. I think you probably enjoy this game a lot more than the rest of us. You are also very fluid with your playing or your capabilities on this game.
How many times have you cleared the stars? I'm actually curious about that.
I didn't do it that many times as a kid. I just
But as an
I don't know,
adult,
maybe 10.
that's a lot. That's a lot for this game.
When you say clear, you mean 120?
I've never 120'd it.
Oh no,
Really?
No.
That's surprising to me.
Wow.
No, I just didn't like. You know what? I'm going to do it 120 stars. I just didn't do it. I've gotten above 100. No, I do. I really enjoy playing this game.
And I think that is a part of the score too. You have to have fun with
Like,
the game.
Yeah,
so.
absolutely. That's why I was just asking about like objective versus nostalgia.
Yeah.
Because you were even saying yourself, like you have like a nostalgia. Like I don't have any nostalgia for it, so I only have one score for it. You even said yourself, if you had to base it off of nostalgia, it'd be an 8.
Yeah.
But based on trying to be as objective as possible, it's a 5. All right, so first up from questions, we have questions from our Facebook. You can look out for our posts on that at facebook.com/superfunpodcast. We post probably 4 or 5 hours before we're going to start recording. It gives you time. We're going to start kind of posting a little bit before that, but here we go. Ian Mitchell asked, why is Matt such a hunk? I think it's my beard.
You know?
Harry, why am I such a hunk?
It's the beard.
I thought you were just going to answer it and we were going to move on.
No, Ian Mitchell asked everyone, why am I a hunk?
I think the question is false.
The question is a lie.
Hunk my ass. Wait, don't do that.
Hunk ass.
Is hunk a verb?
I'm not going to do that.
It is now.
It's the clean head. I get that too.
Oh my God! Wait. Your haircut is what we're talking about.
I
here?
hope he's talking haircut.
Okay, moving on. Steve,
Yeah,
why is Clark a hunk?
You already answered.
Yeah, I'm going with
You
the
did?
beard. Yeah.
Okay.
It's-
All right. I think it's your piercing.
My piercings?
I think your piercing does it. Oh yeah. Well, I just see the
His-
one.
So Prince Albert's piercing.
His,
Oh, yeah,
his
yeah.
mods.
My mods.
It's mods.
Your mods.
It's like a moto mod.
Body modification.
It's all in them jeans.
So you are talking about his dick.
Okay, all right. Moving on. I'm officially embarrassed.
Right along. Okay, Ryan Horger asks, bikes or skates? Personally, when I was a kid, I had a bike.
I had a bike and skates. All
Oh,
depending
boy.
on the bed. I know. Overachiever over here.
I had
Rich
a-
kid.
I had a bike and I was a skateboarder.
Blades all the way.
Blades all the way.
You ask anybody, I fucking rode those shits everywhere.
Hardcore blade master.
Our final question is from John Evelyn, and he asked, what was the most anticlimactic boss? Something that make you goes, that was it?
Bowser from Mario 64.
Actually, I'm going to throw this back to our last episode for Donkey Kong. It's every single one of those boss fights. It was just, I found so much easier than any of the other levels we played through.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment of that. There's just one in the back of my head, and I can't.
Is it in the shape of a star?
No.
Is it the universe opening up into nothing?
Oh, you mean the No Man's Sky ending?
Yes. The no Skyman ending?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to say, Harry, what was that game that you and I played co-op that ended with the song Mother by Danzig? Do you remember that? It was like Fear, I think, where it was like the two brothers.
Fear 3.
Fear 3.
Yes.
One's dead, one's alive.
Remind me. Remind me what the ending was on that.
I think all you do is you decide whether you're going to kill the father. Because it ends with mother because it's... Wait, no, maybe it was the mom?
Didn't it end with the two brothers battling?
Yes.
And it wasn't a fair fight, though.
Yeah, because the one brother's so overpowered at that point.
That could be considered a little anticlimactic. I mean, it's like almost like a done decision for you anyway.
Yeah.
All right, so I got one. In Star Fox 64, there's like a fake ending. There's Foe Andros, and when you beat him, you sort of get an ending, but it like winks at you to let you know that you didn't really do the whole thing. I'm not sure that really counts. That's the closest thing I could think of. It was like an anticlimactic ending because it wasn't the true ending, because there's an alternate path. First thing that comes to mind.
I always thought fighting the hand in
Smash Brothers.
Smash Brothers. I thought that was kind of a lame.
It just like blows up and that's it, or
not even that. Just the whole fight. Like you'd think you'd be fighting some kind of whatever. But
Okay,
just a hand.
Yeah.
Just a hand.
A hand?
I need a body attached to it. I want to fight a giant.
I don't know. I thought that was kind of lame.
Oh, you know what also is very anticlimactic? Every single story ending for Johnny Cage in Mortal Kombat.
Oh.
Because it's always him just being like, that's right, I'm a celebrity, take my picture. Oh, there's a dipshit, and just punches him. Like it's like every ending to Johnny Cage in Mortal Kombat.
Here's one. Sephiroth in Final Fantasy VII. He's so weak. I'm just saying, like...
What, you used
that game in
Knights
general,
of the Round on him a couple times, and that's it?
No, I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I found that final boss to be very easy. There really wasn't any challenge.
Not like Kefka.
Kefka was easy, too.
Oh.
You want a hard Final Fantasy boss? Final Fantasy V.
Oh. Is that X-Death?
X-Death. He is fucking brutal. All right, guys. So before we start reading off the iTunes reviews, please get on iTunes and leave us a review. It really helps the show progress up the ladder, and it just really means a lot to us to show that you are enjoying the show so far. So please get on there and leave us a review, and we'll read it aloud. So say some gnarly shit.
No, don't do that.
Say some really gnarly shit.
Don't get banned from iTunes.
Get gnarly.
You can't get banned from iTunes.
Yeah, you absolutely can. They have moderators.
All right, say some weird shit, but not bad shit.
Don't get banned from
Give
iTunes.
us a weird review.
Just don't get
guys.
banned from iTunes.
Get banned from iTunes.
All right, so let's move on to iTunes reviews.
I did it so much better.
I'm going to take your face.
I love that.
Face.
All right, this first one is titled, These Guys Are Great. This is submitted by Dalton Coder. Quickly added this to my podcast rotation. These guys are hilarious. Keep it up, guys. Look forward to hearing more. Well, thank you, Dalton Coder.
Thank you, Dalton.
Thanks, man.
Really appreciate it, dude.
This next review is titled Very, Very Good, and this was submitted by Adam Rock. I'm excited to see where this show goes and what games are reviewed in the future. Great work, and thanks for all of your hard efforts.
Thank you, Adam Rock.
Thanks, Adam Rock.
Thank
Adam,
you, Adam.
you rock.
You rock, Adam Rock.
Rock, Adam Rock.
12 o'clock, Adam Rock.
Adam
1
Rock
o'clock,
around
2
this
o'clock,
clock.
3 o'clock, rock.
Speaking of clocks,
The next game we're going to review, guys, is Majora's Mask for the N64. We've got 3 days left until the moon crashes into the earth. It's got a big old face, and it's got a gnarled smile and big teeth the size of, craters and stuff. Fantastic.
Yep.
Yep. So what have you guys been playing? I know that I've been playing, obviously, a lot of Mario. Played him for about 5 hours. I've also actually gone back and done some more XCOM 2 stuff where I took my game save and said, I'm just going to deviate a bit from the path, and did some more of the skill trees, and did some more of the... What, you're laughing because I always go back, or what?
Yeah.
I always
You
go
always
back.
go back to games we've already
As I went back, Played some Earthbound, finally beat No Man's Sky. No.
Did you beat Earthbound yet?
No, I didn't. No. Still trying to get that Sword of Kings. I've actually been playing Kerbal Space Program. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that one.
Yeah, I have. How is that?
That is actually a lot of fun, and it's all about, how much time you can devote and put into it. I started the career mode, made it to space, which was fun, and then I went into the sandbox mode and tried to build an SR-71, and it just blew up every time I tried to launch it. I mean, you can just go straight in and just, make ridiculous contraptions, and a lot of the, aeronautics stuff is based in reality, so it's sort of like, okay, well, if I make this 747, triple decker, will it take off and will it fly and what'll happen? And it's just so much fun. The sandbox mode is just great right out of the gate.
Yeah, it's like
Check
a
that
physics
out.
sandbox, right?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Cool. That's pretty awesome.
I don't know if that's PC only. I don't know if you guys played that at all.
No, it's out for PS4 actually too.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep.
Chipping away on Final Fantasy 15. I'm about 15 hours now, level 20. Really enjoying it. It just started to open up. It's great, so I'm going to keep working on that. What about you, Harry?
All right. So as you guys known, I sent you guys a text message the other day. Let it be known, Harry goes balls deep and doesn't pull out. So I splurged.
You're going to be a dad!
No, I splurged on the PlayStation VR, and I got all the fucking accessories and hookups and gadgets and gizmos.
Did you get any games though?
That's right.
Yes. I got the VR Worlds or something like that.
Yeah, the demo disc.
No. Oh, what is there's one with 5 games on it.
What are the 5 games?
It has the
Batman?
No, not Batman. I'm not a really big Batman fan.
I
be
know that
honest
there
with
was
you.
one.
I didn't get too many games. But anyway, no. So I got the PlayStation VR, messed around with it a little bit. I haven't had a ton of time in it. I just kind of wanted. I've been waiting for a month now, just to really get my hands on this system. But no, other than Super Mario and a little bit of the VR, I really haven't had a chance to dabble in anything else. Oh, a little Devil May Cry.
Steve, what about you?
Well, Super Mario 64, obviously, and some Final Fantasy 15.
Nice.
My list is small, but it is bountiful.
You guys are so behind.
I will rip your goddamn face off. Face off.
Face.
Clark Main?
And Clark the Man Clark.
I've been playing some Majora's Mask. I got a little bit of a head start. I grinded through Mario 64. Decided to hook up my Xbox 360 and started playing UFC Undisputed again. The third one, the one with the Pride rules. I love that game. It's so much fucking fun.
Never played it.
It's probably one of the best MMA games out there, just because it has the 2 different rule sets and they're actually inventive with it.
Is that the one that has Bruce Lee in it?
No, that's one of the newer ones.
Oh, okay.
That's EA's UFC.
Oh, sorry.
1 or 2.
Gotta love those soccer kicks. Thank you, Pride.
Yeah, soccer kicks in Pride are awesome.
So gross.
Yeah, they're ridiculous. And head stomps. It's just
Sounds
gnarly.
brutal.
But you can't elbow people on the ground. That's the difference between Pride and the UFC.
Yeah, go figure that out.
Okay.
Unified rules. Other than that, I've been playing a lot of Star Wars Force Arena on my phone.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a little card-based MOBA. It's really fun. It's a free-to-play. I have not invested any money into it. I've thought about it because I've been enjoying it so much. Yeah, I've just been playing that as well. It's been pretty cool.
Would you say you play that on the toilet?
No.
Oh, okay. Cool.
That was so blunt. Like you were really sly when it was oh, have you been playing it on the Vita? But no, you just went straight to the toilet there.
Yeah.
Do you play it when you're indisposed? Do you play it while on the John?
No.
Okay.
Never mind. I'm not even going to get into it.
Don't get into it. We're good. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. That was Mario 64 Wrapped. This is Super Fun Game Review Podcast.
Go!
Out. Take care, everybody.
Bitches.
Game over. Game over. Game over. Game over. Game over.
Thanks for listening to Super Fun Game Review Podcast Go. Stay up to date on our Facebook at facebook.com/superfunpodcast.
Thank you so much for playing my game.